Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to the Other Side Lifestyle Podcast with Jim and Aram. I'm tired, man. My eyes, they look a little bloodshot. I don't know.
At least you got pupils.
I do have pupils.
I
wish I could look in the camera and see myself at the same time, but I just have to trust your word.
I'm looking at my ring light and it's wild.
Yeah, your pupils are glowing, like white pupils with the light.
Gorgeous green eyes. You know, it's not. God doesn't give with both hands, but He did to me. You know.
Yeah,
we're
both lacking in the same area of just like not being 6 foot and not having a full head of hair.
Yeah, but I've given up on caring about it because
you can't have it all. It's not fair to other people.
No, it would be like
it's not fair.
It'd be like, can you imagine if Michael Jordan didn't have a drinking problem?
It's not fair if that was the case. You know,
I've got a funny story about an accidental drug overdose.
I'm assuming by somebody else.
No, me.
A drug overdose.
Yeah.
The people love hearing this, especially all my colleagues at work. Go ahead, tell me.
So Mexico last week for a wedding.
Yeah.
And you know my normal routine of packing things into pills and bringing them into my vitamin container.
So unbecoming of us. Go ahead.
About 1.5 grams of Molly inside of a pill, and it was in my Thursday supplements. And it was Thursday.
1.5 grams for the people. What would be a typical dose?
0.1 can usually make somebody have a pretty nice time for about an hour and a half.
So we're talking 15 doses.
15 doses, and
AKA the amount you need for one Disco Biscuit show.
The amount a very serious raver can probably do in one day of a festival.
So 15 servings.
And after my morning breakfast, I went to go take my supplements, popped them back.
This happened again?
And as soon as I did it, I fucking looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, God damn it. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I got two choices. First of all, I'm in fucking Cabo, so I'm in Mexico.
You're throwing up or riding this dragon.
So I started trying to throw up. So I started chugging seltzer, Topo Chico, whatever the fuck was in the fridge.
Yeah, I know those things.
Nothing was coming out.
They're a little too sweet for me. I think I've had them once.
They're good, sweet. But I did nothing coming out. Like finger.
So just real quick.
Fisting my throat.
Real quick for the people. You overdose with you 15 servings of Molly, and you think the best way to throw up is to drink alcohol.
No, Topo Chico's mineral water.
Oh, I'm picturing there's some beverage that has a name similar to that. I forget what it is.
Yeah, that's like a hard seltzer Topo.
Yes, like a hard seltzer drink. No, okay, never mind.
This was like the actual.
I apologize.
Mineral. So like I'm drinking that. Then
I drink tap water. I don't know all these fancy waters that you drink.
Then there was like a bottle of hydrogen peroxide. So I looked on the internet and it said that can induce vomiting. So I mixed that with water. Nothing's coming up.
Did you look at yourself naked in the mirror?
At this point, nothing's kicking in yet.
I'm saying that might have induced the vomiting.
Oh, thank you for that. No, I didn't. Okay. But if you sent me a naked picture, I might have.
I need Jim now. Jim, send me a picture of your butthole.
Luckily, I'm with some people, and one of them has a car because they rented a car. So I'm like, dude, just fucking drive me to the hospital. So we go to one, ends up being a children's hospital. Because I'm looking online, it's like St. Luke's, whatever, and I'm driving around. And Cabo's like, it's small, but it's like, it's Mexico, so nobody knows how to fucking drive, and nobody pays attention to street signs or traffic signs, so it's just chaos. And it's like 8 a.m. on a Thursday, so it's work. So,
sir, what are you in here for? I took 15 servings of drugs. It's 8 a.m. on a work week.
So I show up to the first hospital, children's hospital. I'm like, where's the other hospital? And she's like, by the marina. So we drove to the marina, get there. It's down a fucking alleyway.
At this point, are you feeling it?
It's been like about a half hour. I'm more panicking than feeling it.
Okay, so the capsule's slowing the absorption. It's not a...
I'm getting like that feeling in the back of my neck where I know I'm about to get hot real soon.
Oh, God.
And then I walk into the fucking clinic, and there's 4 ambulances. I'm like, okay, we must be here. Walk in. It's literally just a walk-in clinic with one bed, and they're like, we don't have what you need here. I'm like, okay, where's the fucking hospital? Where's the emergency room?
Who has long fingers?
And by the way, this is all in Spanish. So my Spanish when I'm panicking is not good. And I'm sitting there with like Google Translate telling him like accidental overdose, blah, blah, blah. So finally she's like, the hospital is on the other side of town, on the other side of the marina. Get there, run up to the front desk. And at this point now I'm starting to like try to fight. I'm trying to fight it. Because at this point, it's like it's actually starting, and I'm like, fuck. Because I know how susceptible I can be to having this. Actually, I know what it's supposed to feel like, and I don't want it to feel like that at all.
No.
So I went up to the front desk. The guy speaks fluent English. He's from LA. He's like, "Oh yeah, we'll get you right back there." Literally puts me into the ER. I'm in there for maybe 20 seconds, and then projectile yellow vomit into the sink twice, and then 3 more times into the toilet because I saw that there was a bathroom there. And then I immediately feel better. Like immediately, obviously it was such a high dose that my body just between the stress, the nerves, and like holding it back, I think it just got everything out. And then they hooked me up to like IV. They gave me like naloxone, which is an anti-opioid. They gave me like fluids, anti-nausea, stomach stuff. I'm in there for about an hour. And I'm telling him the whole time, I'm like, I promise you, this is not like just some stupid American partying in Cabo. Like it was very much an accidental overdose. I did not intend to take this much. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. No problem. Get finished up, walk out to the front, get my paperwork, and they run my Sharp insurance. And they're like, it's probably going to be reimbursable, but you got to pay us right now. It was $2,500, which whatever for a fucking ER trip in America, that probably would have cost 10 grand with how much they did. And felt better the rest of the day, and like nothing ever happened.
That was the most expensive Molly you never got to enjoy.
Exactly. And then I was pissed because I brought it for a wedding that I was supposed to go to the next day, and I couldn't even do that.
You should have got a cup and cupped up the vomit so you could drink portions of it later.
Jesus.
You don't want to waste all that good time.
And on next episode,
I will never forget. I'll never forget watching somebody close to me. I didn't realize it at the time. I was not doing Molly or anything, but they did. And they started to get nauseous at a concert. Starts throwing up. Cheeks full. Swallows it.
Oh.
Does it probably 3 times in a row.
Oh.
He's like, I wasn't going to waste it. Just literally sitting there.
Oh. How do you swallow that?
He just swallowed his own throw up.
What a savage.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to waste it. Disgusting.
That person can go through hell and back with no problems.
Is seeing the cheeks fill up and some like leaking out the mouth and then just gulping it down and then just throwing it up again, gulping it down, throwing it up again. Right. I think it was 3 times.
Great parlor trick to be able to do if you're in a jam and you're like at a, I don't know, jury duty or something. You got to throw up. But yeah, so yeah, that was fun. That was a nice little Thursday afternoon, morning in Cabo.
You could always not share that stuff with the public, but that's fine. I like it.
Yeah, listen, we fuck up and we learn. And
I don't know. I don't think you have learned because this is the second time that you took vitamins in the morning that included those things. I don't understand how when you check in, you don't immediately pull those things out and separate them from your morning vitamins.
Fool me twice, Jim.
No, you ain't gonna fool me again.
Not gonna fool me again. It's not gonna be a third time. That's for damn
fool
sure.
Me twice. You ain't gonna fool me again.
There's not going to be a third time. Don't worry.
Yeah, I will say it's been very nice to see your calmness and being able to see you enjoy being excited for the conference this year versus the panic that you felt last year. Even though you knew like everything it'll work out in the end, blah blah blah, like all the things we know to tell ourselves, but to see like, no, I'm excited. It's
it's definitely. I will say like Caesar's made it really easy. Like they've been talking to me almost every other day.
We're going to put this out this Sunday. Tonight, right now, as you listen to it on a Sunday morning, some of our listeners may be about to go out on a hike with me. Some may have gotten done the hike. Some might be getting ready to go to the airport.
Yeah.
Some might listen to it later and be like, oh, that was me earlier. Listen to some of you might be at the happy hour right now with an earbud and listening to this episode.
Probably
to kick off the Real Coaches Summit.
Probably not, but maybe. It's been good, man. I'm happy that it came together. 243 confirmed attendees, so almost hit my goal of 250.
International, worldwide.
Yeah,
attendance.
Australia this year.
Yeah,
3 people from Australia are coming. No people from the UK. Last year we had 2 guys from the UK. That was cool. But UK got replaced by Australia, which I thought was interesting. A lot of Canadians. even though they're not happy with our current administration. They're still coming.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
talk about politics.
I don't know anything about it.
Me neither.
I wouldn't even be able to lend you an opinion
I
on it.
don't
Like
know
I
anything.
see somebody was telling me the other day that I need to worry about it, and I'm like, why would I need to worry about it?
Not you need to know about it. You need
No,
to worry about
right. And then I asked like, why should I worry about it? They're like, well, it's going to affect your clients. I said, I don't charge enough for it to affect my clients.
it. Yeah.
And I'm like, what are they
You're
going to
like,
do?
I'm
They're going to
still cheaper than eggs. So
way cheaper than eggs
yeah.
and way cheaper than fucking Ozempic and way cheaper than the hundreds of thousands they'll spend on medication when they turn 70. So I'm
I
always
mean,
going to be
you spent a year of coaching with you. You spent in one emergency room.
yeah,
You you
yeah,
paid more to throw up
yep,
than people will pay to spend a year with you.
correct.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, perspective.
Perspective. You are not, I heard this the other day, fantastic. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victim of your perspective.
True, because circumstances can be seen through different lenses. And
Yeah.
the thing I saw the other day that I thought was cool was somebody was writing that there's 8 billion different stories going on at one time, all experiencing the same world with a different life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's very true. Like, there's that many people in the world. We're all in the same place, but doing I mean, not really drastically different things because we all operate kind of the same day to day, more or less. But interestingly enough, like some people get through life with a lot of peace and enjoyment, and other people are white knuckling their way through every day. And I don't know. I think the older that I get, the more I realize, like you said about the conference last year, what's the worst fucking case that's going to happen? Like I lose money. Okay, I'll make more of it. Is it going to be tough for some time? Sure, but like we have the skill set to get through it.
Yeah. I mean, some people right now are like worried about Justin Bieber. Like they're
Yeah,
worried
I keep
about him. Like
seeing
it's
that.
like,
What's
we have to
wrong?
understand.
Well, there's
I don't
nothing wrong
know.
with him. He's fine.
I don't. I mean,
He's
he looks like
partying.
he's cracked out. I don't know what he's doing. I could care less. I see
But
little
like,
clips here or there. But the point being is like there are people, regular people like you and me, worried about him, and it's
do they know
like
the
you just
kid?
said.
Do they know the kid personally?
It's not even in my. It's not even in my world. Like there's just things.
Like, why
We
am I
could
going
be on
to?
the same street, looking down the same path, and be experiencing two completely different things. Oh, that road is gross. It's dirty. It's shitty. Oh, it's such a cool off-road path. Like it's like
Right, exactly.
the same thing. And
Yeah.
it's our perspective.
How do you choose to view it, and why are you going to voluntarily make it worse?
I mean, I think if people are in the habit of that, I mean, I was in the habit of just complaining about things
That's true.
several years of my life. You just, oh, this, oh, that. You're just in the habit of it. It's a way to like, I don't know, get either validation or get sympathy from somebody. You complain about things in your life. Oh, that stinks. Get attention, sympathy, validation for your hard work, or whatever it might be. But I think we just get in the habit of complaining about it. So then when you're complaining about it, that's what you see.
I think it's also partially probably because it's an element of a way for humans to connect to other humans. Maybe it's like if I
Yeah.
give you this uncomfortable anecdote, maybe you'll relate because you've had some form of similar suffering that I have, and now we can bond with our collective traumas about it.
Yeah. I think it's
I
a big
saw.
way people bond. I agree. Yeah.
Do you know that? Have you ever seen clips of that black woman who's a psychiatrist who's got really, really great like perspective? I forgot what her name was, but she was talking about how like people over pathologize and over traumatize everything. Where it's like, if your childhood sucked, it doesn't mean you were traumatized as a child. It just means that you probably were just growing up in a tough environment that wasn't conducive to the way you wanted it to be. And that's got nothing to do with trauma or bad. It just means that it wasn't ideal, and that's okay. It's not always going to be ideal.
Yeah. I remember hearing you
And
say
I
like
think it,
trauma isn't the event, it's your response to the event.
yeah, and I think there's a lot of weight to that because it's like uh, how like that the thing that happened to me last week. I laugh about it now. It seemed like the worst thing in the world while it was happening, but within literally 20 minutes of it being remedied, it wasn't the worst thing in the world anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I don't think we ever give ourselves enough time for. It's like we're so in the moment of how bad something feels, and then we start manifesting it to be worse in our own head, and we start blowing it out of proportion. And it gets collectively worse and worse until the point where it's like, well, I can't even adult now, or I can't even take care of myself, or I can't go to bed at a reasonable hour, or I can't go to work, or I can't take care of my kids because this is so bad. In reality, it's like, just step back for a second. I'm sure you've survived worse than this before.
Yeah, I mean, if you died, you would have, I mean, you would have people flying in from all over for your funeral in Vegas. Like the conference would just be like a quick memorial. Like I'd be like, he died, but I'll still introduce everything and the
Yeah,
speakers. He was just being selfish. He wanted like a lot of people at his funeral. He knew a lot of you wouldn't come if he just died on a regular weekday.
that's actually a good way to put it.
You know, that would be that would be a good yeah, a good funeral.
That's the
Like,
memorial I would want.
yeah. Like, and then it's like at like the end of every presentation, they go like, "That was for you, Aram," and they kiss their lips and look up in heaven, like pretending that you're there.
Pour out a little Dasani water on the floor.
Yeah, and then I like dive on stage and catch it in my mouth.
I think it was 2 Chainz that said, "When I die, bury me up in the Louis store. When I die, bury me in the Gucci store." And I'm like, when I die, bury me on the stage of the Real Coaches Summit. Because that's where it's all going to end. It's going to come to a halt there.
Dude, we could do like, did you ever see I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson? It's a
Joaquin
sketch
Phoenix
comedy show.
Oh yeah, I
And
tried giving that that guy really. So he was in another show recently that's been out on HBO. I
yeah,
tried watching it.
where it's like he's like ad exec. It's a slow burn, and some of this gets like, and some are great, but there's this one where it's like this infomercial for his TV show called Casket Fails, and it's just all raw footage of caskets failing and bodies falling out, and he's like complaining.
Real footage or fake footage?
I mean, it's a skit.
Yeah. Okay.
But the skit is, this is a show that he had called like Casket Fails, and these bodies are just falling out. And he's like, this is real footage. I mean, these are real bodies. And then all of a sudden, just because some of these bodies happen to be naked, they decide to take us off the air. It's not my fault that these bodies were naked. And you'd be surprised how many naked people are buried. And blah, 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 whatever. And the video, as he's talking, they're just showing people carrying caskets out and them failing and bodies just thudding to the ground. Point being, Real Coaches Summit 2027. Your dead corpse will fall out of the body of a casket that we carry up on stage. I'm going to make sure the bottom's really weak.
Can we push that date further out a little bit longer than 27?
Oh, I thought we were being optimistic. Okay, so 2084.
I mean, it's what? It's 2025, and I'm
it's 2 years
41.
Away.
All right, let's say 30 years from now, so 2055.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't have faith that this conference would last that long, but let's pretend it does. Let's pretend it's the 33rd Real Coaches Summit, and your dead corpse falls out the bottom of a thing. Should we do like a prank, like tell the world that you died at one of these conferences and then bring out a casket and your body falls out and you're naked? He wanted to be very naked.
I would want to be very naked for sure.
And then everybody's like in awe, and then you hop up once like we really fool them that you're dead.
Naked?
Well, yeah. Or like maybe there's like a skin toned thong on, so it looks like you're naked from a distance.
I mean, I'll be 70 at that point. I'm not really going to care. So whatever the hell you want, you can certainly plan that, and I will help you execute it.
Yeah. I like it.
So before we start, I said we should ask each other some interesting health and nutrition questions based on things that are issues in the populace. And I put a couple of question boxes up today on my Instagram, and it was interesting to see the responses. But first question I said was, does cortisol, i.e. stress, directly contribute to fat gain? And it was about 40% of the people that said yes.
So to clarify, when you say directly, you mean it is the reason, not indirectly versus my stress is causing me to make these decisions. I'm eating perfectly, but just because my cortisol is up, now all of a sudden I'm gaining weight, even though I'm eating the exact same amount of calories, the exact same foods.
Correct. Independent of calories, does cortisol.
And you have a lot of coaches that follow you, and they said yes.
Too many. Too many said yes.
Now, here's a question. Would this be direct or indirect? Let's say stress levels caused calorie output to decrease. But see,
indirect.
then even...
Indirect. That's still indirect, because that's not the mechanism for why fat comes on. The mechanism for why fat would come on would be that energy expenditure would lower, so i.e. calories.
Correct. So if
go into a surplus.
Because it's not going to necessarily automatically downregulate your metabolism. It just might cause you to actively move less because you're stressed out. So yeah, and these are mostly coaches. That's good. And I also commented on the one, you're like, what is this? What muscle does this machine work? And it was a lat pull down. And you said like an alarming number of personal trainers answered it wrong. I don't even understand how it's humanly possible to guess one of the other two options on that machine.
Especially when the handle is above your head.
Yeah. And just even looking where the pads are, where your legs go, it's like, are people just upside down on it? Like pushing the handles away? I mean, doing upside down hamstring curls? I don't understand.
I'd like to think that maybe people didn't take a good look at it. Maybe they were in their car. Maybe they took 1.5 grams of Molly.
Yeah, maybe they got big thumbs.
Maybe they have big thumbs. Wild. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's getting harder and harder because I've coached a lot of coaches. 60%. 60% said that cortisol would not directly contribute to fat gain, which I think was positive.
Okay, yeah.
Second question was, does impaired gut health directly contribute to fat gain? And about another 38 to 40% said yes.
I mean, it could be confusing on what they're thinking of what it would be considered direct and indirect. I mean,
let's talk this one out, right?
Like, somebody could justify like, well, yeah, that's directly causing this. So therefore, not realizing that that's what makes it maybe indirect.
So there literally cannot be a mechanism if you actually think about it. Like, let's say you do have impaired gut health, right? Bowel motility is slow, nutrient absorption is bad, whatever it is. Like all the
calories are still absorbed either way.
In some cases, they're not.
So that it would directly.
No, direct. It would actually say. It would actually be that they wouldn't, because if the calories aren't getting absorbed.
What I was just thinking in terms of would it affect, period. But never mind. I got it. I got what you're
saying. Now I think what people assume is fat gain is the fact that if they're backed up, if their bowels aren't moving as well, if they're inflamed, which is a popular word now, if they're collecting water and retaining it, then the scale weight will go up. But that doesn't mean that they've gained any fat tissue. Yeah. Like there's no bad gut health isn't going to push fat into cells.
Correct.
So that's the other problem that I have with a lot of these narratives is like, well, people will say, well, my bowel motility is bad or my gut health is bad and I need this test and that test.
But they've seen so many videos of somebody saying, oh, I'm just tired. Everybody just saying it boils down to a calorie deficit. And then people start going, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's not just a calorie deficit. It's like, it is, but it can be harder to get there.
That's what it is. So yeah. It's cortisol stress creates an environment that isn't ideal. Poor gut health creates an environment that isn't ideal. Third question: does hormone dysfunction directly contribute to fat gain? That's the only one where I would be on the fence to say yes, because of the potential metabolic decline that it might cause if the thyroid is affected. But even then, if calories were held in check based on the new conditions of the human being, then they wouldn't gain any fat. Because again, at the end of the day...
Yeah, that's not causing fat. It might create an environment that makes it easier to gain fat.
Right. So
because the might negatively affect decisions, mood, energy, or functionality with the thyroid and actually operating optimally or the way it should. Yeah.
And the thing is like, let's say your metabolism does decline for whatever reason. It's not like it declines by 500 calories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's declining by like the tens of calories.
Yeah, it's not a 20 to 30% drop.
No.
You
And
know.
in that case, and that's why, like, a lot of times it's because I work with mostly women, and a lot of women will say, like, I used to eat like this, and I was able to weigh this, but now I eat like this, and I weigh that. Well, it's like, yeah, you're ignoring a lot of other variables.
Yeah.
Like, how much were you moving back then when you were citing that you were 22 and able to eat whatever the fuck you wanted? You probably didn't have a husband and a house and a job and kids, and you were on your feet all day running around,
Yeah.
drinking and partying and being a kid. You don't do any of that stuff anymore. You sit for most of your life, and then you lay on your back for the other part of it, and you train for 3 hours a week, if that.
Yeah, and that's the
So,
toughest thing. Like when you tell somebody, they come to you, and even if they were doing an online calculator, and they say, "I'm active, I'm highly active. I go to the gym every day for at least an hour,
right.
like every day. Every day I go to the gym. I am active, if not highly active. What do you do the other 22 and a half hours of the day? Well, I'm at work and I sleep. So 1 out of 24 hours you would consider highly active. And like just that, the people,
Yeah.
there's just that lack of awareness because in the time that you have in your quote unquote free time that you have to go to the gym, you're utilizing a decent chunk of that.
Absolutely.
You might only have 2 or 3 hours of free time and you're hitting the gym for one of those hours. It's like, yeah, that's a lot. That's a large portion of your free time. But
Yeah.
over the course of an entire day, that's not active. I mean, you would be like moderately active at best, especially at a desk job. You'd be on the low side, you know. I had one client ever. He was a mason and went to the gym every day. He was the
Oh
only
my.
client ever I'm like, you'd be considered active.
Very, yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah,
somebody who's
very
expending
active.
energy
All
all
day.
day long. Like, that's nonstop energy, and that's not easy. Like,
All day.
masonry is not easy work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would like,
No. I have a
even
question
like
for you. Let's pretend you know. Go ahead.
huh?
I was going to interview you. I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah,
You
shoot,
know about are you up to date on your peptides stuff?
ish.
Have you heard of AOD 9604? It's
Nope.
apparently supposed to help with like fat loss and lipolysis, and you can get it in nasal spray. I don't know if you heard about it.
AOD.
And if not, what do you know about BPC 157 nasal versus injection if there was like maybe a specific area of tissue healing that you're hoping for? Do you know anything about the nasal stuff? Because now it's coming out and it's showing promising um, efficacy. But I don't know if you know anything. I mean, there's not enough to like say for sure, yeah, this is great.
I
But it's
mean,
like more overall inflammation. But I'm talking about like your shoulder's hurting and you take a BPC 157 shot to the shoulder. What if you did nasal spray instead? Is that going to help?
I think because of the pathways it has to run through, it's not going to be as effective.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with a lot of peptides or drugs. It has to be inside of a carrier tissue that makes sense. And if you talk to somebody like Mike T. Nelson, who I think is the authority figure on a lot of this stuff, is he'll tell you like he's not convinced of oral or nasal administration for a lot of this stuff. And the promise that we've seen with injectable is probably limited too, because the people that are using it that are getting results are otherwise very healthy, active people who are doing a lot of other things right. So it's like, is it the rehab work that they're doing? Is it their nutrition? Is it their recovery
Is
protocols
it
that
the
include
HGH and
sleep?
testosterone?
Could be that. Like, and yeah, but I mean, that AOD 9604 is I'm looking it up now,
Yeah.
is a precursor of human growth hormone. So it's
Yeah.
designed to mimic the fat burning effects of HGH
Without
without
bumping
impacting
insulin,
blood sugar and growth
blood
hormone
sugar.
levels. So
Yeah.
if that does what it says it does, then really what it's going to do is it's just going to marginally increase your metabolic rate.
Core body temperature.
Yeah, and that's really about it. So I don't know that it's going to be all that effective in lipolysis. Well, I mean, it could very well be effective in lipolysis, but we don't need lipolysis. I don't give a fuck about lipolysis. I want beta oxidation. I want fat to actually leave the body. I don't want it to leave the cell and then get injected back into another cell because I'm not actually in a state of a deficit.
But I'm in a state of ketosis. I mean, I should be.
Dude,
I should just be melting away.
I had a woman today that told me calorie counting didn't work for her, but clean keto did. And I said, okay, explain that to me. I said, how did calorie counting not work for you? Did you do it properly? It's like saying my car, when I drive it, drives really, really fast.
Yeah, it's like it didn't work for you because you didn't like it and you didn't do it.
Correct.
Not it biologically, physiologically did not work for me.
Yeah, maybe the process was unenjoyable for you, which certainly
It
can
didn't
be
work for
sometimes.
you because you stopped counting the calories once you hit your threshold.
And instead of going through the process of counting calories, you chose arguably one of the most restrictive dietary protocols known to man, by which you reduced calories naturally, put yourself into a deficit, and that's when she's like, that's when I started losing weight quickly. It's
Yeah.
like, well, no shit.
You found the way that worked for you. You found the way to get into a deficit that worked for you.
Right. That's all
For
it was.
this season, for this period of time. I am getting tired of like the people online. I don't know if it just seems so obvious. Like this is what worked for you.
Right.
I just don't want to say this dude's jacked, shredded. He's like walking 30 minutes a day and like at an incline and something else. That's what's going to get you shredded for summer. That's what's going to get you looking like this. And I'm like,
Nope.
yeah, plus the anabolics you're on and the amount of weight training you're doing. That's what got you the muscle. Yeah, maybe the cardio and the calorie deficit or the appropriate calorie range allows you to be that lean and stay that lean. But you don't look like that because you did cardio for 30 minutes at an incline. And somebody's looking at that and going,
shit, this is all I'm missing. This is it. I should have just been walking for 30. I got to be walking for 30 minutes.
I didn't have it on an incline.
That's
why I'm 275 and 5'3".
Dude, I walked fucking 27 minutes yesterday with an 85-pound vest walking my dogs. Here I am thinking I'm going to have like zone 3 cardio, like heart rate in the 130s. Didn't get above 105. 105.
Because your watch was broken?
No, just I was wearing a fucking heart rate strap. Did not get above 105. I'm like, is this thing just slowing me down? Like, I mean, obviously, 85-pound vest is heavy as shit. So that's
a very heavy vest. Is that with plates? Like how did you get to 85 pounds?
It looks like a normal weighted vest. It has
all the pockets for all the little
rectangle weights. It has 10-pound plates in each pocket, and there's 4 of them on each side. And
I didn't know if you had like one of those Rogue ones that has like the big shield plate, like 40-pound plate in the front. So it's the one with all the pockets, and you're dropping in these 10-pound plates.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought it was going to be something significant where I would actually be like huffing and puffing, and it was like mildly uncomfortable musculature-wise. Like my calves were sore, and like I could feel like my body trying to shrug through it to like hold the vest up, and that was the only thing. But like I ran what I thought was a very leisurely pace today. Heart rate was at 173 for 15 minutes straight.
Animal. My cardio's in the fucking dump.
Well, that means my cardio is dog shit because if I'm running
that's a high rate.
Right, I'm running at a 9-minute mile pace,
but you went for 15 minutes.
I went for 23 minutes.
That's fantastic shape.
I mean, the fact that I was capable of doing it and not having to stop, I was impressed because I'm trying to increase my threshold for running. But it's crazy to me, like. Because here's the thing, like a lot of people would look at those numbers and they'd be like, well, what's the point? I'm not getting any better.
Yeah.
Right? They'd be like, well, it's no different than like, oh, like I'm not losing any fat even though I'm going to the gym. What's the point? Or I'm not losing any fat because I'm tracking my food. Like I had a woman.
It's like you're not getting fatter.
Well, it's like.
It's like another way to look at it. Well, you were getting fatter and then you started to go to the gym and you're not getting fatter.
And you stopped getting fatter. That's a result.
That's a win.
Well, and I also want to point out one thing, and I know this is going to be close to the end here, but I want people to really take this message home. Just because you're counting calories doesn't mean you're going to lose fat.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that that's a wild concept for a lot of people because it's such a different thing that they're used to, right? Like I went from not counting calories to counting calories, so now I should be losing weight, right? It's like, well, no. It's like saying you weren't tracking your money and you didn't know how much you had in the bank and now you do. It doesn't mean you're just starting to make more money.
Yeah.
Like you have to still be in a deficit to lose weight. And like,
it's like I never had a budget before. Now I do. I mean, I don't adhere to that budget, but I have a budget.
Yeah. I blow through it every day.
I should be saving more money.
And are
you adhering to the budget? No, not really. I mean, I usually take some out of this envelope and put it into this envelope, and then I run out. But luckily, I get paid the next day, so I'm fine.
Dude, it's and I get it. Like, as somebody who's been doing this for as long as I have, like I've given up any level of expectation.
Yeah.
Like that's the beautiful part about evolving with your health and fitness journey is that you get to a point where you just don't give a fuck and you're just going to still do the things regardless of what you think they're going to do for you. Like I can't imagine a world in which I didn't eat well, in which I didn't prep my food, in which I didn't train, because I don't want to see what that looks like. I've done it for a couple of weeks
Do you want me
here
to
and
take my
there.
shirt off?
It's not, dude. You make it sound like you're
So
that
you
bad.
can see it, I mean.
Well, dude, you make it sound like it's that bad. You're 44 years old, 45, right?
6.
46. Compared to most 46-year-olds
I'm
on this.
comparing myself to me just a year ago.
Okay,
The
yeah, you're a
love
fat
handle,
fuck then.
it's just hanging over.
It's not
Tremendous
hanging over.
Amounts.
It's not hanging. You're making it sound like chicken skin.
It is, because that's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what happened? But I feel, I'm good. I feel good.
Your calves are huge. I saw them in a video the other day.
I know.
Huge calves.
And my traps looked good in that
Your
through the
traps look
sweatshirt.
good.
And that's all that matters.
Your face is thin. Your butt chin hasn't dissipated. Your structure is there.
I'm
And
gonna hop in the tanning bed.
Your voice and face are still great. So if I was a gay man, I would still want to have sex with you.
As a straight man, if I squeeze my butt chin like this for the people seeing on YouTube, would you just lick the crack?
Is there peanut butter in it?
I don't know why in my head I'm going, is there a Cheeto in it?
If you could hold a Cheeto inside of your butt chin. Well, I know the first thing I'm doing on Sunday when I land in Vegas is I'm getting a bag of Cheetos and trying that experiment immediately.
Trying to do it. And I'll just get a piece of Scotch tape and hold it on there. People are like, "What's that?" I'd be like, "Wait and see." And then like nothing happens.
Taste it and let me know.
Yeah, they're like, what's going to happen with that Cheeto on his chin? I don't know. He said, wait and see. Oh my God, like what's going to happen? And then just nothing happens.
All 3
it's
days.
Not there at a certain point.
You're at the fucking barbershop on Tuesday night with all of us, and the Cheeto's still in your chin.
It must be tonight that something's going to happen with the Cheeto. We got to find out what this thing is.
And then at the end of the night, 2 a.m., you just pull it out, put it in your mouth, eat it, and then walk out.
Peace out, bitches.
Just make sure it crunches real loud. You get on stage to pretend to sing a karaoke song, crunch the Cheeto out of your chin, and then just drop the mic and walk out.
Yeah.
Epic.
Right, maybe I will.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to see you. Looking forward to seeing everybody. It's going to be a lot of cool people are coming.
Yeah, I mean,
you're there.
I found out I was going to be there. Yeah,
you're going to be there.
Yeah,
that's all that matters
for me.
Yeah,
because if I'm not, then it doesn't matter for me who else is there if I'm not there. So I have to be there to enjoy the other people that are there. So the only thing that matters for me is that I'm there.
I think my parents will like to see you.
Oh, they're going to be there again?
Yeah, they're coming. They've been on a 2-week cruise, and their last port of call is Los Angeles, and they land in Los Angeles on Sunday, and then they hop on a plane to Vegas that day.
I'm going to give your dad a hug and just breathe heavily or lick his earlobe. I'm going to breathe heavy into his ear
You're gonna very quickly find out what it's like to get the shit beat out of you by a 78-year-old man.
I'm just gonna lick his earlobe real quick, and then pretend that his earlobe licked my tongue. I'll be like, did you just stick your ear in my mouth? I'll just step to him.
I think he would punch you.
Do you think so? He let me do it last year.
The one thing that he's still a little hung up about is he's still slightly homophobic.
Yeah.
Racism has kind of dissipated.
So if I act super gay, he'll be fine. It's just if I'm slightly gay, that's when he's...
Yeah, the slight homophobic. Like, if you're on the fence, it's not good.
That upsets him.
It confuses him.
Yeah, so I'll just go all in. Open mouth kiss.
Yeah, because then at that point, he has to make a decision.
Yeah. I'll be like, you're naughty. You're naughty, Mr. Gregorian.
It's his
I knew you were naughty.
Dude, it's his birthday on fucking Tuesday night.
Really? Is he going to go out?
I can't wait.
Is he going to go out? Or just do dinner and then go to bed?
He'll probably be strapped to one of the roulette tables losing his shirt.
Nice. You going to buy him a bottle of scotch or whiskey or something? Vodka?
I won't really have to because I think he'll probably drink the bar dry himself.
Yeah, but get him a bottle. Let's all chip in. I'll buy him a bottle. That'll be my gift to him. Then he'll
Just
let me do whatever gay stuff I want to him.
Just walk up to him, just drop the bottle in front of him on the table and say, happy fucking birthday.
On Sunday, I'll try to remember to do that. And I'll be like, happy birthday, Mr. G. This is for you. Bottle of Svedka.
He would
Nothing but the best for you.
Then he would punch you in the face.
What's his favorite vodka?
If he can find Russian Standard, that's usually what he likes.
Russian Standard.
Standard he likes. Surprisingly enough, he likes Belvedere.
Does he like Jack Daniels?
No, he doesn't do brown. He only
Belvedere.
does brown. Yeah, he likes Belvedere. He likes Tanqueray Sterling, which is the brand that does the gin, but they have a vodka line called Sterling Tanqueray, and it's vodka, and he likes that one a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I the first time I had Belvedere, I was like, this is not worth. I don't like.
Agreed.
Like
yeah.
Goose, but Belvedere, I was like, okay.
I don't even like Grey. I mean, at the end of the day, it all tastes like shit unless you put juice in it. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't mind it.
All right. Well,
Hendrick's gin is my favorite. Not because my kid's name is Hendrix, but Hendrick's gin is so smooth. I'll just drink down the rocks. So if anybody wants to buy me a bottle of that for my birthday, it was in January. I'll take that.
Yeah, just social security number and address, please.
Yeah.
We'll send you a bottle.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, good chat. I know you have to get mentally prepared for a check-in call. I have to return a few calls. Not clients, but driving school people. And then I'm going to get a workout in this evening.
Hey, look at you combating fatness.
3 in a row, bro.
Wow.
3 in a row. Late. I'm just kind of giving up on the idea of like, oh, go to bed. I'll work out in the morning. I'm like, no, fucking 8:30 at night. Like 2 nights ago, 9:15, I went out to the garage and I worked out.
Whatever.
Last night, like 8:30, I went to Planet Fitness, did back. I didn't feel like waiting for things for what I wanted to do for triceps. It's so freaking crowded there at 8 o'clock, after 8 o'clock at night. Came home, did triceps here. Boom.
Yeah.
Go to bed. F it. I got nothing to do.
No, dude. You got life. You got life by the short and curlies right now.
Yeah, I'm not setting an alarm. I can wake up at 8:15, 8:30 and still get to work on time.
Jesus.
But I'm up at like 6:30. I just wake up naturally the way Jesus intended.
What's it like to be a loser who wakes up at 6?
I don't know. What time do you wake up? 5?
I'm like, what's his name? That guy that wakes up and eats 9,000 calories after he does a 3-hour meditation at 4 in the morning.
All I know, if I wake up at 6:30 and I see a post that was posted 30 minutes ago, it already says liked by 4 weeks to the beach. Like he has to be using an app. There's no way. 3 o'clock in the morning, this guy's liking posts.
Well, if I have to poop at 3 in the morning, then I'll be up.
Do you have like a prosthetic human finger on like a pecking chicken and your phone? That's just going like, and your phone just you have a setting where it likes and then it automatically scrolls to the next post. Like scrolls automatically. Like it's gotta be something.
You figured me out. That's exactly what it is. I have an automated pecking chicken over my nightstand that likes posts.
You know what's funny is like if you did and somebody saw that and they're like, there's an app that does that. You're like, really? I paid a lot for this pecking chicken.
Yeah, but the pecking chicken is so much cooler.
It is so much cooler. You just had a human finger just jammed on the beak of the pecking chicken.
And then it becomes my alarm in the morning because it actually does the rooster thing.
Yeah, it's your alarm cock.
We have to end on that note. That was too good.
Bye.